welcome to Clearview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. 23-year-old man stabs 65-year-old father to death after consuming a synthetic drug known as Colorado. Late singer Mohbad's father says his life got better after the singer's death. Activist seeks release of 64-year-old man on death row over stolen generator. I'm Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. The Armed Forces Remembrance Day, marked on January 15, is an annual event set aside to commemorate men of Nigeria's armed forces who have lost their lives in the course of duty, as well as honor the country's living veterans. Earlier today, President Bola Tinubu, along with other dignitaries, performed the wreath-laying ceremony to mark the 2025 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration in Abuja. Clearview presents this report to highlight the significance of the day to Nigeria. January 15 every year is marked as a special day known as Armed Forces Remembrance Day or simply Armed Forces Day in Nigeria. The day is a public holiday observed to commemorate the servicemen of the Nigerian Armed Forces. It is also a day set aside to honor veterans of World War I and II, as well as the Nigerian Civil War. Being a former British colony, the Remembrance Day was formally celebrated on 11th November as Poppy Day in honor of the end of the First World War. However, it was moved to the 15th of January following the Nigerian government's victory against Biafran troops on 15th January 1970. The day the instrument of surrender was handed over to Olusegun Obasanjo by Philip Effiong of the Nigerian Army marked the end of the Nigerian Civil War, which aimed to divide the unity of Nigeria. Each year, events are held at the federal, state, and local levels to mark the occasion. A solemn gathering takes place at the cenotaph of the unknown soldier, where security chiefs, political leaders, members of the Nigerian Legion, and other stakeholders come together to pay tribute to brave war veterans who made the ultimate sacrifice on the battlefield. Military parades often involve the participation of a guard of honor from the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, and Nigerian Air Force. The peak of all events held is the wreath-laying ceremony done by the President of Nigeria at the National Cenotaph in Abuja's Eagle Square. 36 federal cenotaphs in the states of the Federation are places where Special Armed Forces Remembrance Day ceremonies are also held. Special prominence is also given to the Nigerian Legion, a veterans association which organizes many events on this day alongside the government. To mark the 2025 Armed Forces Remembrance Day, President Bola Tinubu, who was represented by his vice, Kashim Shettima, alongside service chiefs and other dignitaries, performed the wreath-laying ceremony earlier this Wednesday at the Eagle Square in Abuja. The program also witnessed other activities such as prayers, gun salutes, and the releasing of pigeons at the National Arcade, Eagle Square, Abuja. Across the country, state governors and other dignitaries also performed several rites to mark the day. For many Nigerians, the day serves not only as a reminder of the sacrifices of men and women of the armed forces, but it also underscores the need for a safe and prosperous Nigeria. The chairman of the PDP Governors Forum and Bauchi State Governor, Bala Mohammed, has reiterated the forum's commitment to rescuing the party from practices of impunity that threaten participatory democracy in Nigeria. The governor made this statement during a meeting with PDP state youth leaders at the Bauchi State Government House. The report.
Seated in this hall are PDP youth leaders from across the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT. The delegation, led by its chairman, Jamilu Ali, visited Bauchi to condole Governor Bala Mohammed over the death of his stepmother.
We want to affirm our support, our dedication and commitment in supporting you on whatever you are doing in seeing that this party will restore to order.
While appealing to those contemplating leaving PDP to reconsider the importance of remaining united in the party, Governor Bala Mohammed expressed gratitude for the visit and reaffirmed his commitment, along with other PDP governors, to protect the party from forces attempting to destabilize it.
With the Governors Forum, we are poised in ensuring that this party is rescued from those who are practicing impunity, showing that participatory and multi-party democracy is destroyed in this country. I'm aware that some people are leaving the party, and if they leave us, it's very unfortunate. These are leaders and symbols of the party. We should not exercise cowardice by surrendering our common heritage to some undertakers and hoodlums who are staying by the wayside to ensure that we are destroyed. I'm using the opportunity of your visit to please appeal to our colleagues, former governors, leaders of the party, not to abandon the party.
Governor Mohammed also assured the youth leaders that the forum will continue to take necessary steps to maintain party unity and provide opportunities for members, particularly the youth, to achieve their aspiration within the party. Imefon Okon reporting for Clever News.
The Ondo State Police Command says 32 suspects have been arrested in connection with the communal clash at Iwaro Akoko in Akoko's southwest local government area of Ondo State. The State Commissioner of Police, Wilfred Afolabi, who was at the three affected communities for an on-the-spot assessment, confirmed that 2 persons were feared killed in the clash.
The communal clash between Ebo and Owake in Iwaro Akoko in Akoko's southwest local government area of Ondo State has been a long-running battle over boundary-related issues. The latest violence escalated, leading to loss of lives and properties. The communities have now become like ghost towns as many residents have fled their homes and business activities paralyzed. The State Commissioner of Police, Wilfred Afolabi, who was on an on-the-spot assessment to the affected communities, confirmed the arrest of 32 suspects connected to the clash.
So far, so good. The record we have with us shows that 2 people were reportedly killed. It's a matter that can be resolved in court. These are matters that if the 2 communities decide to sit down, it can be resolved. So taking laws into their hands at this present stage is very, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Now they created this crisis. You look around, how many people can you see here?
CB Afolabi has vowed that those arrested who have already been transferred to the command's headquarters will be prosecuted to serve as a deterrent to others.
What we have now are 32 suspects, and it wasn't anything like random arrest. Those are people that many of them were caught in the act. And I can give you the assurance that they will be prosecuted. The evidences we have against them are overwhelming, and I have the assurance that we will gain convictions.
The CB urged the communities to seek peaceful resolutions to their dispute to avoid further occurrence. Imefon Okon reporting for Clever News.
I have no regret killing Salome Adaidu, so says Timileyin Ajayi, who allegedly butchered the 24-year-old Kogi-born lady. Timileyin was Salome's boyfriend who put an end to his gospel singing career after declaring that God does not exist.
In the gory episode of the killing of the Kogi-born Salome Adaidu, 24, too many questions are being asked about the motive behind the act, as the possibility of ritual undertone is being ruled out by observers. In an interview, the culprit, Timileyin, who stopped singing gospel music after questioning the existence of God, says he has no regret killing Salome. He also explained how he carried out the act, claiming he surrendered himself for arrest and not worried about the consequences of his action.
Did you kill Salome?
Yes.
Why did you kill her?
Why did I kill her?
So, Mr. Timmy, please narrate how it happened, what you saw that made you kill, and how you did it. What happened on that day?
What happened on that day was very simple. I caught her cheating on me, and so I brought it to her awareness that she was cheating. She refused. She didn't want to accept until I showed her the chat and showed her what she did before she admitted and told me she was sorry. It's never gonna happen again. That was what happened. After that, I told her to go into the bathroom. She went to the bathroom and started some things. Immediately started those things. I couldn't take it lightly. I had to go into the room of where I can get some certain things that will happen. So I took the knife from the restroom and went it to her. Immediately she was lying her hand down. I held her neck and I did what I had to do, and that was it.
So how were you caught?
I wasn't caught. I surrendered myself.
Do you have any regrets?
I don't have any regret.
Okay, you don't regret killing her?
I don't.
On the position of the family, Salome's uncle, Samson Adaji, wants justice. He said the body of his niece was cut into about 50 pieces, which made him feel that Timileyin actually prepared Salome for consumption. Samson also praised efforts of the police.
Discovered this through the Nigerian police, and we are expecting justice from the police. He has succeeded in destroying our daughter. Not ordinary killing, he butchered her into pieces. He cut that body into more than 50 pieces. And when you look at the whole thing, he's preparing that body for consumption, because he cut all these things and leave them in about 6 polythene bags. That is to say, if you look at where people contributed money to buy cow during festive period, and those times that the Fulanis will come to share the cow among the people that contributed for it, that is exactly what he did in his room. And when we went to his room, we discovered that this is not the first thing he's doing. This is the first time he's doing this thing. He's a professional in this. He has a place. He has a place in his room. All those kind of knife, he has them there that he used to cut and arrange. Yeah, there is a big basin there that he cuts and put inside. And in short, there are a lot of evidence that this is not even the first person he has destroyed there. And in his area there, he's known to be a fraudster. He has deceived many churches to collect their money and run away. They call him a gospel musician, but on the network I discover he's a fraudster. The way he prepared those bodies is not meant for any other thing. It's meant for consumption. He cleaned it up for consumption. And also I want to commend the effort of the DPO of New Karishi division. I was shocked at his effort in this thing. He started this work without anybody of the family being there to fuel him, to pay for paper for case. All this. He didn't look for me for anything. When the call comes that I lost, that my daughter had an accident and he was in OK General Hospital, I came to OK General Hospital and discovered that it was not an accident, that it was a case of murder. And when I look at his efforts to get the situation controlled, I say yes, he tried. I commended him to the area commander of New Karo in Nasarawa State yesterday, his efforts. And also I'm here to even let the nation know that the DPO has proof that police were not what they are saying about them. And I am also looking forward to see a good result from his superior as we are handing over this case to the Commissioner of Police of Nasarawa State.
Salome's elder sister, Esther, has been finding it difficult to come to terms with the killing, asking why, and why.
The disease is my sister, my younger sister, and I feel very bad because I didn't just lose a person. We didn't just lose a person in my home. We lost a sister. My mom lost a daughter. So I feel really bad about the whole situation. And I demand and need justice to be served to this guy sitting over there because he is the person that murdered my sister. And he confirmed it to me when we picked him up from the police station before we brought him to this command here. He confirmed. I was like, you are the person, because I'm just seeing him for the first time, apart from the social media pictures that have been flying. I was like, you are the one that murdered my sister? He nodded and said, yes. I was like, you will tell us where we are going to, why you murdered my sister. He now nodded that, yes, he will. So I just need to know why he murdered my sister, and I need justice to just be served. That is all that I need, because any other thing that will happen will not bring my sister back to life. That I have come to terms with. But I just need the law to just take its full course on this guy. Now, I have never seen him before until his pictures were shown to me on social media, and it was on Sunday that was the first time I ever saw his picture, ever in my entire life. Sunday was the first time I saw him, and he said he claimed, because the video I first saw on social media, he claimed that he has been dating my sister for the past 1 year. And you'll be dating somebody's daughter for 1 year and nobody in the home will even hear your name or know you. That's absurd. Like, I cannot even fathom it at all, because it doesn't happen in my family. It can happen any other place, any other family, but in my family, that doesn't happen.
An assurance has, however, come from the Nasarawa State Police Command that though Salome is gone, justice will be done as the culprit will be properly arraigned. Rahman Nansel is the public relations officer. He welcomed more facts that will further help the job of the police.
Investigation is ongoing, and upon conclusion of the investigation, he will be arraigned in court for prosecution. I want to assure the family and members of the public, or we are calling on members of the public who might have any complaint against the suspect, to come forward with their complaints, and it will be looked into and investigated. I want to assure the family that this suspect will not be spared if found wanting. He will be charged to court for prosecution, and we call on them to avail themselves anytime the need arises.
From Clearview News Desk, we don't have much to say but to ask, is this not a clear indication to end time?
Similarly, a 23-year-old man identified as Prince Nyerovo has been arrested in Sapele, Delta State for allegedly stabbing his 65-year-old father to death after consuming a synthetic drug known as Colorado. The tragic event, which occurred on Sunday in the Amukpe area, has left the community in shock. According to family sources, the suspect has a history of addiction to synthetic cannabinoids, also known as spice, adding that in one instance, he allegedly attempted to strangle his mother. Prince's mother, who reportedly sought assistance from rehabilitation centers in Benin City, Edo State, and a mental health facility in Sapele, eventually ran out of resources. Meanwhile, the father's body has been transported to the mortuary for an autopsy, while the suspect has been taken into custody pending further investigation. Meanwhile, Joseph Aloba, father of the late singer Ileri Oluwa, also known as Mohbad, has revealed that his life got better after the death of his son. Aloba disclosed this in an interview with a media personality, Akin Abolade, this Wednesday. Aloba said his late son had plans to do many things for him, but was not given the chance until after Mohbad's death that his spirit and the Spirit of God began to send people to assist him. He also said that the birth of Mohbad led him to become a singer after the money from the naming ceremony was stolen, stressing that his late son became a backup singer for him at the age of 1. Aloba mentioned that he is a carpenter, singer, and pastor, although he does not have a church, adding that his son had promised to build one for him before his death. Recall that on 11 September 2023, Mohbad died in Lagos at the age of 26. A human rights activist, Comrade Derek Agberen, has appealed to the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, to grant pardon to a 64-year-old man, Mr. Kolawole Oladeji, who was sentenced to death in 1999 for being in possession of an alleged stolen generator brought to him for repairs by a customer. Agberen made the call in a statement made available to journalists in Warri, Delta State, while noting that the 64-year-old man had suffered more than enough in prison. Agberen said he is beginning to suspect that judges in the western region of Nigeria take considerable pleasure in imposing death sentences, particularly in relatively minor cases. The activist said he cannot help but wonder if there is more to these cases than just the allegations. If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. We will be back after this break. Stay with us.
We break the news.
This is Christ Embassy.
Recollect, we were the first to break this. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State has approved the appointment of 3 second-class emirs. And this?
Erasmus is the most successful program of the European Union to support education and youth.
And this?
Fubara is not an ungrateful person.
And more.
Tension is currently mounting in Rivers State. The planned arraignment of Yaya Bello.
Across our platforms. Subscribe now and you will be receiving our notifications and never left out as the news breaks on Clearview.
You're welcome back. And now to the foreign scene. Yoon Suk Yeol has become South Korea's first sitting president to be arrested after investigators scaled through barricades and cut through barbed wire to take him into custody. Yoon, 64, is being investigated on charges of insurrection for a failed martial law order on 3rd December that plunged the country into turmoil. Yeol has also been impeached by Parliament and suspended, but will only be removed from office if the Constitutional Court upholds the impeachment. Earlier, in a 3-minute video released just before his arrest, the 64-year-old leader said he would cooperate with the investigators while repeating previous claims that the warrant was not legally valid. However, Yoon's dramatic arrest this Wednesday brings to an end a weeks-long standoff between investigators and his presidential security team. Recall that investigators from the Corruption Investigation Office for high-ranking officials had failed to arrest him on January 3rd, after being locked in a 6-hour standoff with his security detail. Other officers in the arrest team, which numbered around 1,000, scaled walls and hiked up nearby trails to reach the presidential residence. And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. A 23-year-old man, identified as Prince Nyerovo, has been arrested in Sapele, Delta State, for allegedly stabbing his 65-year-old father to death after consuming a synthetic drug known as Colorado. Joseph Aloba, father of the late singer Ilerioluwa, also known as Mohbad, has revealed that his life got better after the death of his son. We also told you that a human rights activist, Comrade Derek Agberen, has appealed to Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun to grant pardon to a 64-year-old man who was sentenced to death in 1999 for being in possession of a stolen generator brought to him for repairs. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.